Okay, let's see if I can manage to do this review pretty good in time. Alright, these are the two newest models that arrived today. Xindi Insectoid Ship, which looks quite impressive and quite vicious, and the USS Prometheus class. She was introduced in the episode Message in a Bottle in Star Trek Voyager Season 4. I'll go into detail on that shortly. First I will get started on the Insectoid ship. The first time we saw a Xindi Insectoid ship, it was in the Enterprise episode Twilight. In the episode Twilight, there was a bit of an alternate future where Archer had become infected by some kind of temporal parasite that affected his long-term memory. So he couldn't remember very much of anything beyond just at the point of the accident. About 12 years after that accident, the human race is dying out. The Earth has been destroyed, and the Xindi are hunting down what's left of humanity. In the episode, what's left of humanity is now under attack, and the Xindi launch a particularly brutal battle, and the Enterprise is destroyed. Archer, T'Pol and Phlox managed to reset the timeline. Not that they remember. The Xindi Insectoid ship is quite an interesting design. As you can see by here, you can, even though I doubt the ship was actually designed with that in mind, you can imagine this ship kind of latching onto a hole and tearing into it. That would actually be pretty impressive if that happened. The Insectoid ships were quite powerful, along with the Leptarian ships. They were the more aggressive races within the Xindi. They had the stronger ships with the toughest hulls. In many ways, they were quite the threat. And they were very well, as you can see, it's very well designed. It's got kind of a serrated look to it, very vicious looking, lots of little details. It's actually quite a very beautiful little model. It's quite big, as you can see, next to the Prometheus. And it does come in a pretty big box. There is a little bit of die-cast metal, but not much. The wings here are plastic. The stand holds it quite well, which is good. There's no moving parts, although this part here feels quite fragile. I'm worried that could get broken, so I have to be gentle there. I wonder what the Xindi ships will look like by the 24th century, or the 25th. It's a very impressive model. I quite like it. So, on to the next model. If you're wondering what this model's like, so you get it. It's quite a different design. Alright, next model. The USS Prometheus class, NX 59650. The USS Prometheus, the Prometheus class ship that is, was introduced in the episode Message in a Bottle, as I said. In that episode, 7 and 9 detected a Federation starship right on the edges of the Delta Quadrant, thanks to an alien communications array. Janeway tried to contact them, but there was no reply, so they sent the Doctor. The Doctor discovered that the Prometheus had been taken over by the Romulans. And with the help of a fellow UMH, who was quite frankly a coward, they managed to get the Prometheus back from under Romulan control. Now, the most distinctive thing that people remember the Prometheus for is this multi-vector assault mode. Multi-vector assault mode, where the ship separates into 3 parts: Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. The Beta and Gamma sections can be controlled by the computer or by a skeleton crew. In 3 parts, the ship is quite a deadly combination. Combined, it's also quite lethal. We wouldn't see this ship class again until into the final episode of Voyager, Endgame, and once again in a very brief glimpse in Star Trek Enterprise, in a little glimpse of the future, the battle of the sphere builders. In a Star Trek group I've been with since 2007, I serve on one of these ships, the USS Prometheus. Good ship. Yeah. The model has little details, as hopefully you can see. Now you may be thinking, why isn't she so detailed on the lower part of the hull? That is very accurate actually to the screen model. The entire design of the ship is very sleek. Even when you're just looking at her, not even moving, you get the impression that she is moving. It's a very good little model. Absolutely love this. I hope that if Star Trek ever returns, no, true Star Trek, and that we get a new ship, a new crew, I would like to see the Prometheus and Aquila class return. It's a good model. It's very, very good. It looks very much like an Arrow, if you think about it. Very sleek. Nicely detailed. Now, the multi-vector assault mode is quite something. Oh, that's both the new models. And I have to say they're very good. There's a lot of detail. The Xindi ship, although technically in the seals it'll be a lot smaller than the Prometheus, the model is quite big. Whereas the Prometheus class, maybe a small model, but she has a lot of detail. It's extremely graceful. If you're still waiting for your models, or if you're on the fence about them, I'd recommend getting them. May just be what you're looking for. And that's this review brought to an end. Signing off.